Trust me, you don't have to sacrifice not feeling full and or flavor to eat healthy, because recipes and meals like these, whether it be a meal that you eat on a weeknight or for meal prep, which this is fantastic for meal prep, loaded with proteins, vitamins, and nutrients. I'm going to show you how to make this. Let's go play. This particular meal is so easy to throw together, especially if you do a little bit of meal prep, which I'm going to talk about in a different video, but specifically, some taters. We're going to be using some taters, which I keep these in my fridge. I bake a bunch of them at a time. I keep them in the fridge. These are just yellow potatoes with the skin on, and I cannot wait to show you my favorite way to what I'm going to do with these potatoes, with the seasonings, and I'm going to get into it in a minute. I haven't even introduced myself. Hi, I'm Corinne. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back. I'm not only the drummer for the thrash metal band Nitemare Hippie Children, which is the music that you hear throughout. I'm also a foodie who loves to play in the kitchen, teaching you and showing you how easy it is to eat whole food, plant-based meals. I'm going to get right into it. I have not only my potatoes, I also have about 3/4 of a head of green cabbage that I chopped up, bite-sized pieces. I also have 3 zucchini because they were on sale at Aldi. I think I got all 3 zucchini for like $1.29. I love Aldi. I do a majority of my grocery shopping there. I also have broccoli that I've already steamed. If you've seen my videos, you know how much I love steamed broccoli, and I'm all about the easy and convenient. You don't have to have a fancy steamer basket thing. Regular pot and a little steamer jobby. I'll link this below. You put the steamer jobby into the pot, you fill it with a little bit of water, you put the veggies in, you cover it, and now you have steamed veggies. It's that easy. Seriously, a hair in my eye. So that's all I did to steam my broccoli. So the first thing I want to do is get my potatoes chopped up. Just basically, I'm going to roughly chop them. I'm going to put them in here, and then there's some pretty fun magical things that happen after I do so. So I am going to throw my taters around. That's what she said. I'm going to cut these, roughly chop with the skin on. You can leave the skin on. These have been washed and they're yellow potatoes. For me, I don't mind the skins of yellow potatoes. If I use russet potatoes, I'll take the skin off. And once they've been steamed or baked, it's so easy to get the skin off. So all I'm doing is cutting these into, I'm just kind of quartering them, leaving them into just kind of thick wedges, pieces, whatever, with the skin. See, look at these. These have been baked in the oven. I haven't done anything to them, and the skin just wants to come right off. So if this happens to you when you're using it, a fun thing that you can do as to not waste these, don't throw them out. Put these in the oven, lightly salt them or flavor them with a little bit of onion powder, a little bit of garlic powder. Put the skins in the oven, and now you have baked crispy potato skins. I'm going to get my potatoes going first, and then I'm going to move over to the stove to the vegetables. So this is going to, I'm going to break that piece up. Potatoes are going in first. I'm going to chop up all my potatoes, put them in here, and I'll show you what I do in just a minute. Now for the fun part. I have my potatoes all chopped up in bite-sized pieces, just kind of a rough chop. Doesn't have to be perfect because of what we are doing now. We are taking nutritional yeast. It adds like a cheesy flavor, and it's so good in so many things. I'll link below the brand that I use. So anyway, to here, we're adding, I'm not measuring, I'm just kind of coating my potatoes with the Nooch, aka nutritional yeast, Nooch. Also, you know me, my favorite seasoning, slap your mama. It's a Cajun seasoning. So not only am I doing this with Nooch, I'm also adding this. And now, fun part, put the lid on and shake the shit out of it. That's so much fun. The point of doing that is we're not using breading, but with adding those flavors and the cooked potatoes that are already nice and soft, Now it's acting as if there is breading on there. So now what I'm going to do is add these to my air fryer at 400 degrees for about 15 minutes until they're browned to my liking. If you don't have an air fryer, stick them in the oven at 400 degrees for 15 minutes. Again, brown them up to your liking. I'm going to go pop these bad boys in my air fryer at 400 degrees, and I cannot wait to show you how they turn out. Okay, I got my taters in the air fryer, and now we're moving on to the vegetables, which again, cabbage, zucchini, and broccoli. The zucchini are going to take the longest to cook, so I'm going to add those first. My pan is on a medium heat. I don't use oil. I either water saute my vegetables or I saute them in a broth, which I'll get to in a minute. I got something cooking over here. But I'm going to be cooking over here, adding my zucchini, and the only thing I'm going to be adding to my pan to help saute and add a little bit of flavor is low sodium soy sauce. So I'm going to add my zucchini. I'm going to add a little bit of soy sauce. I don't measure, just kind of sprinkle it on there. I'm going to get the cover that I forgot about, cover this. Covering will help them steam and get softer quicker. As soon as those soften up a little bit, I'm then going to add the cabbage. I don't need to cook the broccoli because it's already been steamed and softened to my liking. And then I also forgot to show you earlier, I cut up this tofu. I cubed it and I flavored it with Slap Ya Mama. That's all I did because I love that flavor on tofu and stuff like this. On my taters, this stuff is fantastic on everything. I will link it below. I get it off of Amazon. So I'm going to add the broccoli and the tofu last because they've already been cooked. I'm going to get my cover. I'm going to cover this. Be back in a second. I just cranked the heat up to more of a medium-high heat to get the zucchinis cooking a little bit faster because I lack patience, and as long as I keep an eye on it and kind of stir them every now and then to watch the consistency, you don't want them to get too wilty, too slimy. That's not the right word. If they cook too fast, they'll get soft and turn into a goo, and I don't want to get them all gooey because that's for a different recipe. So I'm going to keep an eye on this, let them cook down a little bit, and see you in a second. I'm going to now add my cabbage. And because there's enough moisture in there from the zucchini cooking down, I'm not going to add any more soy sauce. I also don't want to add any more soy because of the saltiness, the sodium level, because of what I'm going to be flavoring it with in just a second, which I'll show you, which I'm very excited for because I love the flavor. All I'm going to do is stir this up a little bit, put the cover back on, let the cabbage get a little bit wilty, and be back in a sec. One thing I am going to add to this, which I forgot to a little bit earlier, but that's okay, it doesn't matter, is dried minced onion. It just adds a little bit to the flavor of it. I like the oniony flavor, and one thing, if you know me, if you've seen any of my previous videos, I cannot stand to chop onions. I probably have some in my freezer from previously chopping, which is what I do. On the rare occasions I cut onions, I'll do a bunch at a time, stick a lot of them in a small Ziploc bag and stick them in the freezer so that way I don't have to for a long time because I love onion. Onion's very healthy for you, but it's one of my biggest pet peeves. I cannot stand to cut onions. Minced onion for the win. So I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of this in there just for the flavor. If I had to guess, maybe a tablespoonful, and that's it. All right, I'm going to let this cook down. Taters are still in the air fryer. Be back in a sec. All right, I just checked on the zucchini and cabbage. It is cooking down nicely. And one more thing that I want to add to this, which I forgot to get out of my freezer earlier, is spinach. I buy several bags of fresh spinach at a time because I incorporate it into so many dishes. Not if, but when I don't eat my spinach in time, I'll take whatever's left before it gets all slimy and wilty and gross. I'll stick it into a large Ziploc bag and I'll pop that in my freezer, and then I can pull it out and use it anytime I want, like right now. So give me a sec. I'm going to go grab the spinach out of my freezer, which looks like this. Bag of frozen spinach. I don't measure. I'm just going to add some spinach to this dish. It doesn't matter if you add it now or a little bit later, because what it's going to do, see, it's just fresh, it's been frozen. It's going to cook down, get all wilty, and add that much more vitamins and nutrients to this dish. I love this. I love eating this way. I'm going to add the spinach to this pan. I'm going to put the cover back on and let it get all wilty. The air fryer is going to probably beep at me in about another 2.5 minutes. So while that spinach is cooking down, while the taters are going, I've been eating this way, mostly whole food, plant-based, for a little over 6 years, almost 7 years now, actually. I have learned so much. I've read so many books. I've watched so many videos. I've read so many things on the interwebs. I created this channel so you don't have to do all of those things. But one of the #1 resources that I still swear by to this day is the Starch solution. This has been a game changer in my life, for my health, for my blood work, for how I feel, my energy, just mental clarity. Tell me if you understand this, if this can resonate with you. You eat a big ass meal, and now you're sitting in your chair on the couch, whatever, and you feel just because you're full, and now you're lethargic and you have no energy and you feel like shit. Eating big ass meals like this, loading up on everything that we're doing right now and many other recipes, when I'm full, I feel awesome. I still have energy. I feel like I can get up and do things. It's not, I'm so tired, I'm freaking stuffed, I have to go clean the kitchen. I'm okay doing those things. I'm not okay cleaning, because who wants to clean the kitchen, right? But I have energy and I feel good. I don't feel all gross and bloated after eating some big ass fatty meal, because of how healthy this food is. It has literally changed my life. I have lost a bunch of weight. I feel fantastic. My energy levels. I'm getting so many vitamins and nutrients from foods like these. And I love showing you that it's easy and capable to do the same thing, because I want you to be able to be healthy as well. For yourself, for your loved ones, for family members, for your spouse, for your children, for whatever. We only have one life. We have to be healthy. I'm going to stir my veggies and grab my taters. Hold on. I am now to the point where I can turn my heat down to low. I'm now going to leave the cover off, because that is exactly how we want it. I'm going to go grab the taters out of the air fryer and show you exactly how they turned out. I'm so excited. Hold on. Look at these. They look like they're breaded, but they are not. Hee hee. Look at those potatoes. They are beautiful, and they smell amazing, and I already know how good they taste just from those 2 seasonings we put on here. So I'm going to put these aside for now. I'm going to come back over to my veggies, give it a stir, and those are pretty much done. Now I'm going to add my tofu. I'm also going to add the broccoli. I'm going to chop the broccoli down a little bit. I don't have to. I can use it like that, but I want more broccoli throughout the dish, which means all I'm going to do is give it a rough chop, because the more the merrier. I want broccoli in every bite, not just a couple of broccoli florets. I'm going to put this in there and give it a mix. Okay, now that that's going, I'm going to give it a stir. There's so much food here. I cannot wait to eat this. Totally forgot what I was going to say. Oh! Now I remember what I was going to flavor this with. Remember, the only seasoning flavoring that's in here is the minced onion and that little bit of soy sauce. So we need to flavor this up a little bit. Not if, but when you eat this way, have a bunch of spices. Spices add the flavor. Game changer on so many levels, depending on what you flavor your food with. So for me, for this, and I use this a lot, I don't eat animals, so I use veggie broth versus any kind of animal broth. And this particular veggie powder, bouillon broth, whatever you want to call it, I use this. I get it off of Amazon. I'll link it below. The flavor is incredible. A little bit goes a long way. It's high in sodium, but again, the flavor is bomb diggity. So all I did was heat up water in the microwave, added about a teaspoon to this much, and I don't want the flavor, what I'm trying to say, I don't want it to be watery. I want it to have like a gravy kind of consistency. So to this is arrowroot powder. That's fun to say, arrowroot. Say it 5 times fast. So this will act as a binder, a thickener. If you don't have arrowroot, you can use cornstarch or tapioca flour. It does the same thing. All I'm going to do is add a heaping tablespoon-ish to this, give it a mix, stir it all up, and then I'm going to pour it in here. The heat is still on low, so it's still sizzling a little bit. As I add this to it, it's going to thicken up and get to kind of like a gravy-ish type consistency. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. And now give it a stir. Taste. Always taste to see what you need to add more of. Or if you fluffed up and added too much of something, then there. That is so good. That flavor all by itself. I'm going to turn off the heat, and the only thing I'm going to add, which I didn't add before, is some fresh cracked black pepper. That's it. Taste again. That's perfect. Now we're going to plate this up. This is how awesome this is. There's a lot of food right here. I'm going to feel freaking fantastic after I eat it, mentally and physically, because it's not only aiding in weight loss, but I'm fueling my body with nutrients and delicious crap like this. Keep watching my videos, and I'm going to keep showing you how easy it is to do recipes like these. And on a budget. I got a bunch of potatoes. The zucchinis, $1.29 for 3 of them. A head of cabbage is, less than $2? And then my tofu was less than $2. So this big-ass meal with that much food left over, pretty cheap. Cheap and easy. That's what he said. I'm going to go eat this. Let me know if you try it. Let me know if you like the seasonings, if you add anything to this or take anything away. I'm always very curious. So I'm going to go eat this and say for the bloopers, eat clean, live loud. I'll see you in the next video. Whether it be a busy weeknight, if you've seen my videos, hair in my face. Cook faster, quicker, you know what I mean.